Yeah. What's up, chat? Happy Tuesday, November 30th, 2021. It's the final day of November, right? That's right. I feel like that's right. I wouldn't lie to you guys. So we are about to embark on the final month of the year, and hopefully you guys are like me and you're getting all cranked up for Christmas, man. I am. How'd you guys do last night? Jonas Valanciunas, 70 fantasy points. Hard money sniper, right? KD's easy money sniper. J-Val can be hard money sniper. 39 real points, 15 boards, 7 threes. What? DeMontis Sabonis, number 2 on the slate. No Miles Turner yesterday against the Minnesota Timberwolves. 16, 25 rebounds, 10 assists. The huge outcome from him. And then Vucevic, Nikola, 62.5 fantasy points. Centers against the Hornets with or without Zach LaVine. Those 3 centers made your night. I was huge on Vucevic and Christian Wood, and I was pretty high on Sabonis as well. I didn't catch the J-Val train, but it was fine. Made a decent amount of scratch last night. Hopefully you guys made out as well. The only hiccup on the slate was I was anticipating Zach LaVine to be out. Didn't go through shooting around. Ended up playing, but it didn't really change much. Only thing it changed is that I went down to a lot less Kobe White and a little less Lonzo and a little less DeRozan. But for the most part, pretty solid night. So I hope you guys had a solid night as well. My love in the chat, Big League Stu in the chat, Brody, Darren, yeah. Shout out to the shop. Pocket quarterback Lamar Jackson, Lillard, unlikely to play. I did catch that right before I went live. Unlikely to play is always such a weird designation, right? Why do we have probable, questionable, and doubtful? Wouldn't unlikely be doubtful? Why not? You know what I'm saying? Josh Standings here. What up? He made it happen. Christmas puppy time. Here we go. Pretty sure I caught a cold or something. Yeah, my girl didn't get me sick. What up, Sean V? Stop with the puppy. What up, Adam? Gun in the house. What's good, bro? Hope all has been well. Man, Adam, how you been, bro? I haven't had random Twitter DM or Discord DM from you in like months. I hope you're doing all right. Shout out to Adam. What up, Obi-Wan? Man, chat is just thumbing on my screen right now. Who else am I? Jay Smooth in the chat. Lorenzo in the chat. Julian Wilson in the chat. Tatum is definitely the real hard one. Yeah, I guess Jason Tatum. What up, Mighty Saint? Gotta make a name and make sure to put it everywhere to remind him every day. What, the puppy? Man, I'm telling y'all, I'm not anti-puppy. I'm anti-environment for the puppy. And I put a dog in his apartment next year. We already got a cat. Chat. I was supposed to have Raj. Raj leave me on red here. I don't know what he thought. What up, Neville? So if we don't have Raj, we have an interesting slate tonight. It's a late lock, so you guys get a little extra time to crunch. And then the games are pretty staggered. We got 2 games at lock at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. And then we went around for, 2.5 hours for 3 games at the same time. So it's kind of a fun late swap slate, right? You guys can really key in on your first 2 games, set your exposures, and then just kind of see what's live, and then kind of tinker the second slate at the same time. So I actually think it's going to be kind of fun to experience as a DFS player, and you get a little gap in between. So some of you guys can sneak in, finesse in those family dinners, right? Take your old lady out. I don't know if you got enough time to catch a movie, but you might catch a steak and an ice cream cone or something like that, and then head back in for the late swaps. And the late games tonight got pretty interesting. The Lakers and Sacramento, last time those two hooked up, it went extra innings and was pretty down to the wire, high scoring, two sloppy defenses. Golden State and Phoenix, these might be the best two teams in all of basketball. Anybody got any argument with that one? Because I don't know, man. These guys are crushing it. Phoenix has been just I don't know, steamrolling teams, and the same with Golden State. So putting those two together, that should be fun, real life basketball. Hopefully for fantasy as well. And then Detroit at Portland. Going to get some value plugs in there with Dame Dalla being unlikely to play and a couple of Detroit guys that you can spin the wheel and make a deal on. So it's actually a pretty interesting DFS slate. I think so. Memphis is going to be without John Morant. We know that. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and get caught up on all the news via Underdog. Hey, are you on Twitter? Are you on Twitter? If you're on Twitter, you should be following me. And if you follow me, you should be retweeting that tweet that I posted in chat. Show some love. The grind for 6K subs by January 1 is an uphill battle, to say the least. We need let's see where we're starting this stream at. We starting this stream at 5625. So easy number to remember. Yesterday we gained like 13 subs on the live stream. Maybe today we doubled down there. So there's no way I'm going to organically or get 375 new subs by myself. I need your help. So if you guys want to hit some goals as a community, man, retweet those tweets and let's grow, man. Let's vibe, right? I think it's fun what we do. And then I was also thinking, I consulted with my manager, aka my old lady, about what else I could do to get to that 6K goal. Obviously, I've been doing giveaways. We've been doing daily streams like clockwork. And the really option is a daily video post, whether it be an early look breakdown video or something like that, or a strategy video, something like that. If I put up one new thing in every day, every morning for people to wait on. So I don't know. I'm thinking about that. So I'm a little bit curious to what you guys would think. I don't know if a first look videos is really the most efficient use of my time, but I'm hoping and thinking that maybe I can get at least a couple of previews a week. Maybe it's a Saturday, right? Maybe if I did it for Saturday and Sunday where people didn't already cover that, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. We're thinking out loud. Get caught up on chat here. What up, Crispy? What up, Quan? Encore in the chat. Mongo. I say you grow the beard until you hit it. Maybe. I don't know, man. I'm already getting a little fed up with it. It's a little, when it like pushes back, when you're late rolling a pillow and it like touches your face, it's kind of annoying, right? Adam says feels like a stack Kings and Grizzlies night for the money tonight. I'm with that. All right, let me see if Raj hit me back. Raj did not, so I don't know what's going on with Raj, but he told me that today would be the day. Anyway, key news to watch as of today. Let's open up the chat. Let me make sure I got all my windows up. So we got DK open. We got Add More Funds open. Oh, it is Taco Tuesday on the old PrizePicks machine, right? So maybe we should open that one up too, because on Taco Tuesday, they do a lot of discounts throughout the day, right? And I think they had already done one with Kevin Durant earlier. And it might still be live. So we'll pull that up as well. We'll look at that, and then we'll revisit PrizePicks again later on in the stream. But if you guys aren't familiar with that, what they do is every Tuesday they have this promotion where every couple of hours they drop a reduction on a projection on a player. And today's was, or the first one today was Kevin Durant. I don't see it. Maybe. Yeah, I don't see it. Maybe they add another one here in a minute. I don't know. Build process. Real talk. My work schedule's about to change if you're looking for another co-host. Maybe. So Chronic is in Cali for the week. Big business dude. And that's why he's not here. Usually he can fill in, and Rod, I don't know what Raj is supposed to be here. I'm sure he'll be up in a minute. Yo, I'm here, and then I gotta like do all these screens. There's the Raj train right there. What up, damn Ron? I hit like. The build process. Build process is interesting. The thing with build process is it's hard to do it so far out, but I because every slate is like a little snowflake, right? Unique in of itself. But maybe that's something I can do tonight. I don't know. There's a couple. I have 2 videos in the chamber that need a little bit more work, and it's shelf life video stuff that can stick around for a bit. Not just like 1 day shelf life where you'll never like this stream tomorrow or really after 8 p.m. tonight. There's never another reason to watch this video. Yeah. Drink some milk, Denny. Oof. Yeah. What up, Fish fan? What up, Valdo? Let's go Burr Poll as well. What do you think about making a short video of your favorite 5 picks under 5K, top 5 under 5? That could be interesting. Maybe that's a YouTube short concept. I was also thinking like a midday prize picks short or something like that. Anyway, what were we doing? We were doing something. Oh, we'll do some news. Hey, you want to do some news? I thought I had Underdog open. So I'm going to open up the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet and also open up the NBA Discord. Click the Underdog tweet. And let's get caught up on what we are keeping an eye on, chat. If I don't get Raj here, I don't get Raj here. You guys keep me honest. Let me know if some stuff breaks. Right before I went live, Damian Lillard, unlikely to play. AD, probable. RJ Barrett, questionable. Derrick Rose, questionable. Draymond Green is expected to play. Mitchell Robinson, questionable. Harrison Barnes, doubtful. Norman Powell, to be determined. Gary Trent, questionable. So, if things shook out the right way and you got no Norman Powell and no Damian Lillard, you might get a big boost for CJ McCollum, a big boost for Anthony Simons, maybe some Nas Little. Tony Snell might draw the start, but I'm not, even if he dropped 20 last night, I'm not running to play him. So, stuff to watch there via Underdog. And that's funny. Boogie's available to make his Bucks debut on Wednesday. Let's go. Is it a Boogie night? Where's Chronic? Damian Lee, personal out today, expected to play Friday. So maybe that backup guard rotation for Steph tonight's a little bit different. And anything other really pertinent news pertaining to this slate doesn't look like it. So that's where we're at today. Chat, this stream brought to you by RunDFS.com. You guys want access to my spreadsheet, my player projections, and my player pool every day. I divvy it up. I put in the RunDFS.com NBA VIP spreadsheet, and you guys can tail it. You can see where my head's at. You can add to it. You can take away from it. What have you? It is part of the RunDFS.com VIP spreadsheet. And then if you just said, I don't care really wants to play, I just want to look at the fancy little colors, the index portal, be able to break down, absorb games very, very quickly and expedite my process. Well, that's there for you too. So go check that out, RunDFS.com. I left that cyber sale up, so the promo should still be on the screen. Coupon code cyber and you'll get 20% off. So go cash in on that, and that will expire tonight at lock. Right. Damian Lillard, yeah, we got that. What up, Coach K? Won 3K on DK last night, 500 on Prize Picks, trying to keep the streak alive. Let's go, Coach K. That a boy. Andrew Martinez says, why do they always price Bay too cheap on Fanduel? Either goes off or bust. That is Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey, Bojan Bogdanovic, guys like that, right? You feel like they never just give you a middling game. It's either they're an incredible play or they're an awful play. What up, Just Stock It? In Taj, I trust. I saw Taj was questionable too, but I'll have all the notes as I go game by game, right? Tim Jodre, that must have been why Giannis made that dad joke on Twitter. The put a little boogie in it, yeah. Giannis is a solid dude. Someone get him some Oreos and milk. Oh, Giannis, that's so crazy to me. Although I don't know. I don't dip Oreos in milk. I'll dip like chocolate chip cookies in milk, right? Like that's more normal, right? I don't know. Chat, hit those thumbs up. Maybe we'll do a giveaway at 100, at 100 likes. Not maybe. We'll do one. We'll give away at least 1 week pass at 100 likes every day. Keep the streak alive. Keep the subs flowing in. I have my charts up. I guess I'm ready to go. I stalled enough. Raj, you missed out. What can you do? Open up. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home. I'm scared. Oh God, it's a damn run. God damn it.
Fellatio.
Damn round, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate that dono. Anytime I look up and I see Damron, I just like, no, brace yourself. That's creative. I respect it. It's creative, right? There's ways to manipulate the Autobot. The Autobot. Anyway, Autobots, let's roll out. Remember, guys, 7:30 p.m. Eastern, late lock. There's only 2 games at the 7:30 time slot, 2.5 hour break. Knicks at the Nets. Battle of New York. Projected starting 5 for the Knicks. Alec Burks, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, and Mitchell Robinson, maybe, up against James Harden, Patty Mills, DeAndre Bembry, and Kevin Durant. And from the Department of Redundancy Department, LaMarcus Aldridge, a 216.5 total, 7-point spread in favor of the home team, Brooklyn Nets. The Brooklyn Nets have been starting LaMarcus Aldridge ever since halftime of the Cavs game, and I had openly speculated about what the heck was going on with Blake Griffin, because Blake Griffin went from starting that game to not playing the second half to DNPing the next game. Last slate, Blake was, again, not part of the rotation, so has anyone got any update for me on what Blake Griffin did to essentially get benched at halftime? If you want to see the story here, look, Blake Griffin started the game against the Cavs. The second half, LaMarcus Aldridge started the third quarter, finished out 34 minutes. And then the very next game, Blake was DNP'd and hasn't played since. Did my man get benched? Is there some Steve Nash scandal that I don't know about? Because I have not seen any injury designations attached to Blake Griffin's name. So I don't know. I'm still kind of scratching my noggin on that one. But in his absence, and also the absence of Joe Harris, and we've seen Bruce Brown miss one, play one. We've seen DeAndre Bembry kind of fill a role here. He's 3,900 on Fanduel, 4,300 on DraftKings. His minutes have not been insignificant from a fantasy standpoint. I've played him on Fanduel in 2 of these starts, and I was pleasantly surprised with the 30 back-to-back 30 bombs, almost doubled in back-to-back games. He's doing enough to kind of contribute from a fantasy standpoint that I think he might make my player pool tonight. It wouldn't be a warm and fuzzy click, but as I try to figure out what the heck's happening with the Nets here, I think he's somebody that, if you just think about potential value for this slate, yeah, we'll talk about Anthony Simons later on, and maybe Nas, little guys like that. But Bembry could be a guy that's just right in front of us, and a slower paced matchup against the Knicks. I definitely would kind of lower my expectations anyway. Back-to-back 30 bombs seems a little bit on the high end, especially a team like the Suns, where they weren't really focused on Bembry. They were focused on Harden and KD. But I don't know, something that I do think will be in my player pool, especially at 3,900 on FanDuel. The high usage guys here, Harden, KD, definitely both in play. I think these shorter slates, I've told you guys time and time again, I really prioritize floor versus ceiling, those smaller slates, because I do think the raw points end up being a little bit more significant. My early run projections spat back James Harden as the highest raw point guy on the slate. Now, that may change as I tighten the screws between now and lock, but at 10K, that projection is really, really solid. because I do think, versus his $1,300 price difference on DraftKings, 10K is going to be pretty easy to get. I don't think that's going to be much of a contrarian secret on FanDuel, but I do like that. And then KD's coming off a 70 fantasy point game. Definitely somebody that I'll have plenty of exposure to. On the Knicks side, they moved Kemba Walker out of the rotation, so not only did he get benched, he's just straight up not part of the rotation right now, which has promoted Alec Burks as the starting point guard. And then Derrick Rose, if he plays, would be somebody that would pick up some minutes behind him. So I do think knowing the Knicks situation is pretty important because they have several Q tags and moving ifs and ends in this laundry list of injury designations. First of all, Derrick Rose does have a Q tag with right ankle soreness. He has missed the last 3 games with ankle soreness, which means that it's likely a bit more serious than just some soreness with Kemba Walker, blah, blah, blah. And then RJ Barrett has a Q tag as well. He's dealing with a non-COVID related illness. He's been questionable, listed as questionable for Tuesday's game. Seems to be some bug that is running through the NBA right now, blah, 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 blah. This is all from NBC Sports Edge. And then Nerlens Noel, Taj Gibson, and Mitchell Robinson all have Q tags on them. Nerlens Noel is dealing with a right knee injury. Taj Gibson is dealing with a sore groin. And then earlier today, we learned that Mitchell Robinson would be questionable. So you feel like not all 3 will be out, but if they are, and if maybe just 2 or 3, or even just 1, maybe you might think a little bit deeper on a guy like Obi Toppin, maybe. Obi Toppin's 3,400. I don't hate athletic bigs against the Brooklyn Nets. It's one of my favorite spots, and he would be somebody that just might be worth some exposure to if that news shook out the right way. And then you also just might see extended minutes for Julius Randle as the center. One of the things I was wanting to monitor in life without Kemba at the point would be the success or lack thereof of Julius Randle, right? Remember last year's Randle versus what Kemba has kind of shook up this year, and we wondered if Alec Burks would serve as a better complement to Randle. So I think it's fair. We got time today to kind of explore some of the sample size, even if it's short, on some questions like that. And I think Randle without Kemba this season is one that I'm curious with. So I'm going to move the needle to October of this season, October of this year. October 19th, I believe, was opening day. We'll put Randle on. Let's do 2 things. Let's put Randle and Kemba on, and then we'll take Kemba off, right? Cody Martin, question. Oh, that's for tomorrow. So when Kemba and Randle were on together, Julius Randle 1.13 fantasy points per minute. And that is 430 plus minutes of sample size. So I guess just as a experiment, let's take Kemba off. Do we get much higher than 1? Did that run? No, 1.26. So it's a little boost, right? It's not nothing. 27% usage rate. So something to keep an eye on. Will that continue to rise up? It is a matchup where I can get behind Randle to play some deeper minutes if this game stays competitive. 7-point spread kind of leaves the door open. I don't know, 9,400 for Randle on DK. Feel like we're asking a lot, but on FanDuel, I think 40 plus fantasy points is well within the range of outcomes. I got him soft projected for 45. If RJ Barrett is down, you might get a deeper shot at some of these backup guards as well. Maybe Emmanuel Quickly. You might get some Quickly and Burks on the court together. I wouldn't mind getting some exposure to Quickly, but more so on FanDuel at 4,100 and nearly 5K on DK. I'm going to want to squeeze out nearly every bit of 30 fantasy points. And then Alec Burks just straight up feels like an obvious a player, right? Can I get 30 plus fantasy points out of him? Definitely think we can. I do think, Atlanta's going to be a super positive matchup. And remember, Derrick Rose was out that game. If Rose was in, maybe it comes down a little bit, but 30 fantasy points for Alec Burks seems like a realistic projection. I gave him 32 minutes. It spits back just about north of 30 fantasy points on both sites. Obviously, the site where he's a little cheaper, DraftKings, feels like the better play, points per dollar. But yeah, he's absolutely in the mix for me. So that's what I got on this one. A pretty high total, all things considered, for a Knicks game, right? They got a pace rating under 97. They do chuck a bunch of threes, so I don't know. I'm here on this game, but I feel like this game feels like it's going to be more obtainable for me on Fanduel, just based on the 10K price point on Harden. What are you guys doing with this one? Do you guys have any favorite plays? Do you like Alec Burks as a high tier 2, potentially low tier 1 point guard player? I'm looking at the rest of the slate. I know CJ McCollum's going to get his way up there. I know I guess on the Raptors, you might see Svi Mikhailiuk get his way up there as well. Anthony Simons up there as well. I don't know. Alec Burks was like a really good option to me as well. But I think Alec Burks might be more suited for the forward spot. Is he forward eligible on DK? Yeah, so he might just be like that Kevin Porter Jr. role where I love him, but I love him even more just jamming him as a small forward. So give me some of that. Let me get caught up on you guys here before we move on to the next one. Encore says Steve Nash's rotations are so weird. Is it a Bagley night? Stop it. Maybe. But Rashawn Holmes is back, so I don't want to bank on that. Mongo says Blake was interviewed about being out of the rotation. He said he called DeAndre Jordan to help him deal with it. Seems like a thing. What a weird answer. I can spell a lot of... And Tamara says, I can spell a lot on calculators, and the good TI-83 could even turn the classroom TVs on. Went to the principal for the... Is that real? You could turn on TVs from the calculator? Yo, those things were expensive for no reason, man. I remember trying to insert those formulas to make it like, I don't know, do animated graphs. Griffin stole his sushi at the dinner table. Craig says, I was at the Bulls-Hornets game and Lonzo started out on fire. All I could think was, dang, I didn't play Lonzo. Glad he cooled off. Yeah, Vucevic was definitely the wave there. And then DeRozan was all right, but Vuce was just crushing it, right? What up, Josh Plays? Listening to Gun while I insulate an attic. Whew. Getting ready for that winter, man. I feel you. Don't breathe none of that fiberglass. Norman Powell ruled out. Appreciate that, Quan. Fournier's going under-owned again. You think so? Is this something right in front of our face? Fournier taking some, I don't know, double-digit shots against Brooklyn. I can get behind that. I feel like he's going to be, I don't know, he's a volatile click no matter what. But if he's going to get double-digit shots, most of them are going to be behind the arc. Yeah, I could see a world where 15, 20 real points, a couple of peripherals gets him there. I just don't know if like, he's got a ceiling right now to blow me away. 30 fantasy points, kind of what I'm looking for in this price range. Is that his ceiling? Maybe. Got there in 42 minutes against the Lakers. I don't think he's getting 42 minutes here. So I don't hate the call though, because I don't mind shooters against the Nets. But yeah, maybe it's one of those in front of our face plays. And if RJ Barrett was down and Derrick Rose was down and Kemba stayed out of the rotation, yeah, maybe it makes too much sense in retrospect. What up, Kickstart? A lot of CJM with that. What up, Luke? Should have taken my own advice, played Vooch yesterday. Jumped ship after Levine was rolled in. Yeah, man. I lowered individual exposures to some of the Bulls. But yeah, Hornets are just the gift that keeps on giving, right? Vooch was in a pretty strong matchup. He was only 15% owned in my contest on FanDuel, and I was in there for like 40%. So I was I was pretty happy. The guy that really messed up a lot of lineups is like I left Kobe White in the mix just to see what happens, and you know he garbage timed his way to like 10, 11 fantasy points. But oh man, what could have been if he had an opportunity without Levine, you know? My man had like one fantasy point and a half. Blazers about to get run off the court tonight. I could feel it coming. You think so? Wiggins downgraded to questionable. What is this slate? What is happening? Let's move on to the next game. I'm going to get caught up on some of these injury notes that came out. Andrew Wiggins now questionable with a back injury. Nas Little got ruled out. Lillard ruled out. Norman Powell ruled out. Bro, they're running out of bodies. I guess Larry Nance would kind of be a guy that might pop I might have to adjust my projections when I get to that game because that's a lot of information. But let's talk about the second game. It's the other game that's at the at lock. So remember, there's two games at lock. The Raptors hosting the Memphis Grizzlies. Project starting five for the Grizzlies: Tyus Jones, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., and Stone Cold Steven Adams. It's going to be a one board. What? Up against the Raptors, we got Fred VanVleet. I think it's going to be Svi Mikhailiuk, Scotty Barnes, Pascal Siakam, and Precious Achua. Gary Trent, I think, is doubtful. Let me get you the 4-1 on that because, yeah, he's doubtful. He's dealing with a right calf injury. So we'll put, I guess, Mikhailiuk in the mix here, unless they do like a Scotty Barnes thing. And then we have a Grizzlies team that does not have Ja Morant. Ja Morant went down with an injury, and they instantly became not great. And here's my fear with the Grizzlies. Now, how do I articulate this? Would we all agree that the Memphis Grizzlies are not good defensively, right? They are the worst defense in all of basketball in terms of defensive efficiency. Offensively, Memphis has a little above average, not going to do our top 10 offensive efficiency. However, I think we would credit a lot of that to Ja Morant, right? You take Ja Morant out of that, this is probably a bottom 10 offense, and then you're hoping that Dylan Brooks hits his shots that he's chucking. So I am worried about the short-term future of the Memphis Grizzlies playing competitive basketball. The spread was only 3.5 here. I don't know how to feel about that. So I'm kind of wrestling with my thoughts on how effective the Grizzlies can be. I guess I'll trust Vegas on these spreads and say that this game's going to be competitive. But man, did the Grizzlies immediately shut down and start looking bad without Ja Morant. And hey, maybe that's just like a little bit of shock effect in the middle of the game. You lose your best player, your leader. What do we do now type of thing. But I do worry about the Grizzlies' short-term future. In the absence of Ja Morant, though, the minutes that will be divvied up, will likely go to Tyus Jones, Anthony Melton, Desmond Bane, Dylan Brooks. And those are going to be guys that not only have to pick up those minutes, but pick up the scoring responsibility and hopefully create some shots and keep these guys competitive. So all those guys are absolutely in the player pool. I think Tyus Jones, 4,600 on FanDuel. That'll probably be pretty trendy. My favorite guy, if you were to get minutes, is Anthony Melton. This guy per minute can be an absolute animal. I put him for 23 minutes. Gave me a little bit over a fantasy point per minute on FanDuel. Right at a fantasy point per minute on DK. And then Jaren Jackson would probably have to pick up some usage here, some scoring. But the Raptors defensively, I think when they're full strength, will be above average. So if you are going to be a below average offense, the worst defense going against an above average defense across the border, man, I just really think there is some combustible elements here that might create some downside for the Grizzlies. So I want to be responsible with my Grizzlies exposure today, and my focal point for this game will be on the Raptors side. So without Gary Trent, they are still without OG Anunoby. Kem Birch is out. I think we get the same Raptors that we've been getting in terms of high predictive value in minutes played. And I don't really think that there's a price point on an individual guy here that would eliminate them from my player pool. Obviously, you think about the potential of them coexisting for ceiling. It's not that great to expect, for Raptors to be tournament optimal, but I think individually every single Raptors in the player pool, I like the FanDuel prices way more than not way more, but I like the FanDuel prices a ton, and in contrast to the DK prices, a guy like Pascal Siakam is $1,000 cheaper on FanDuel than DK, and arguably more more lucrative on FanDuel because of the defensive peripherals being weighted as they are. So Siakam is borderline tier 1 today, in my opinion, at 7,500. And I think if I had to pencil down my list right now, it would be Siakam power forward tier 1, and then looking at the rest of the slate, I might revisit that. But it just seems like a really really strong spot. And then Scotty Barnes being where he's at, there's not a projection that comes back really negative here. Everything here outside of maybe Scotty Barnes on DK comes back really nice versus this matchup. So that's why I'm just a little bit trepidatious with trusting the Grizzlies offensively here. But I think the minutes are going to be really, really nice for the Raptors. And Svi Mikhailiuk, 3,800 on DraftKings, will and should probably be the highest owned value play in the guard department. I got him for $3,800 on DK. I put 35 minutes on his name, 31 DKP. Not really going to turn that down. Welcome to the core value pool. So, do you guys have any personal favorites on the Raptors here? Do you guys share my skepticism on the Grizzlies' ability to keep this game competitive? I'm definitely interested to see what you guys might be thinking on this one. And if it did stay competitive, who do we trust the most? I think Bane and Brooks will definitely have to contribute. One of these guys will have to throw 20 points into the pot. And then the wild card for me is Jaren Jackson. I don't really trust Steven Adams to make his own shot that often. I think it's going to have to lean on these three guys from the starting unit: Bane, Brooks, Jackson, and then maybe Anthony Melton off the bench can surprise us. But I never really got to a confident minute projection. I don't have a single Grizzly right now projected over 30 minutes. I'm not saying that won't happen, but I don't know how to feel confident about getting somebody to that minute projection. So none of these price points are must play for me, but I do think Jaren Jackson would be kind of the X factor, and then Brooks or Bane will have to drop 20 points into the pot, if not more, to keep this game competitive. So that's where I'm at on this one. Let me get you guys let me get caught up on you guys in chat. Ankur says CJ Simmons Nurk stack for the W. I can get behind that. Jericho Sims, if all those Knicks centers are out, maybe giving up a center spot for a little bit of a punt is a little bit risky, but I guess there's not a ton of center only beef, right? Like anybody that we might, you know what I mean? Like, we don't want to give up 50 points at the center spot. Well, a lot of those guys that could get us 50 are also forward eligible. AD, Randall, Siakam, Draymond, if you played. I guess Ayton by himself, but Ayton's not really in a good spot. Jackson, we talked about him. So, yeah, maybe you could justify punting center, but it would just be a complete shot in the dark. I don't really think I could vouch for him with a high level of confidence other than, like, you're chasing 100K to first, you're trying to outscore 100,000 entries on a 5-game slate. Yeah, that might be one of those names that gets it done, but I don't think he would be in my pool on 50 or less lineups in some more moderate contests, Mongo says, let me hit you with a tiers question. Siakam versus Memphis or Booker versus potentially no Wiggins? I'm thinking Siakam, but that's pretty close. What is my projection for Siakam? I got him for 41 DraftKings points, and then on Booker I had 39. I mean, that's as close to a coin flip as it gets, right? Like, so I probably lean Siakam just as the man, that's close. I probably lean Siakam, but I wouldn't fault you either way. You might literally flip a coin and put Booker's face on one end, right? Warrior 15 says DFS has been treating me like a pimp who won't let me leave. I'm not crying. You're crying. Come on, man. What up, Willie Hoops? Desmond Bane is on fire. Bane knocked down 4 triples for the second straight game. Hot. Yeah, like I said, I think he would have to contribute a lot of real points in the absence of John Morant. So, Dylan Brooks on DK is a full fade. You think so? Brooks is one of those guys that when he's on, he looks solid. But when he's off, my goodness, it's like he takes horrendous shots. 1 for 6, 1 for 4, 2 for 9, 1 for, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's not as efficient as you would like him, but the shot volume will be there, and you're chasing shot volume. But yeah, it's 7K. You need 40 plus more than likely. At that price point, got back 31. So I'm good on that at 7K. So I would agree with you. You're not gonna really find me with Dylan Brooks on DraftKings, but I guess I mean life without John Morant, you might get surprised. Do we have? Is it worth looking this up? Do we have any sample size? We can at least peep it out. Memphis. Let's go from this season. Take out the J-Val years. It's already on this season. I'm most intrigued to see if Jaren Jackson can get off, but putting him against Siakam really isn't that great either. What does Ja think of all this? Dylan Brooks on, John Morant off. 1.32 fantasy points per minute. Jaren Jackson 1.4, under 100 minutes. So really not much we can feel great about. So I don't know. How many studs we're paying up for Fanduel? I definitely think. I don't even think the studs are like that expensive, right? Talked about James Harden. If I look at my player projections and sort from greatest Fanduel projection to least, Harden had my highest Fanduel projection at 57 fantasy points, and like 10K is not on a 5-game slate. Like 10K is nothing, right? So I think on Fanduel, you're gonna make some lineups that have a lot of flexibility, a lot of freedom. DK is gonna be a little tighter, and then we're gonna have plenty of value. If you agree with on DK, if you agree with Svi Mikhailiuk, we talked about Anthony Simons opening up, getting some of this other midday questionable stuff. We're gonna have some opportunity. The Warriors downgraded Wiggins to questionable. They already had no Damian Lee. Is Iggy still down? Like it could get really weird with the value plays tonight. William, I'm staying away from the top dogs tonight. 8K and under, I can get behind that. Scott, so that means they will do it again, right? Recency bias. Oh, for Memphis scorched sack without Ja the other night. I mean, Sacramento is not great, and Sacramento's been without a lot of their starters too, right? Don't forget, no Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes has been down. They just changed coaches, so I wouldn't necessarily give that a 1-to-1, but I think it's encouraging to see that. Flip the coin. Siakam won 2 out of 3. Let's go, Mongo. We out here flipping coins, making life-changing decisions. Randall and AK tier smashing. I'm with that. Suns hosting the Golden State Warriors. So remember, there's a 2.5 hour gap between the second game to the third game here. Project starting 5 for the Warriors: Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Andrew Wiggins, Draymond Green, and Kevin Looney. Taking on Chris Paul, Devin Booker, Mikal Bridges, Jay Crowder, and DeAndre Ayton. 221.5 total. Phoenix favored. I guess I didn't put the spread in there. Unless it was a pick 'em and I didn't process that. Phoenix is favored by 3.5. So high total and a tight spread here. With that midday Wiggins news, sometimes we treat midday cues as closer to out than in, but let's absorb the team metrics. The beauty of this game, it should be one of the best real regular season games of the season. Hopefully everyone's full strength and we don't have excuses here, but Golden State Warriors have the second best offensive efficiency in all of basketball. Phoenix is inside the top 10 as well. And then when it comes to defensive ratings, Golden State, Phoenix first and third. So 2 of the clear best teams in all of basketball. And then of course when it comes to net rating, first and third as well. So really, really strong Western Conference potential best teams going at it here if they're at full strength. Even if Andrew Wiggins doesn't play, I don't rule out the Warriors keeping this game competitive. On the Suns side, I think Chris Paul, Devin Booker are both really, really obtainable at these price points. It is 2 strong defenses going at it, so you might not expect high ceiling here, but the caveat to that statement is both teams are running at an extremely fast pace. Golden State, Phoenix is third in pace. Golden State top 6. We know that they can run track meets, and I don't know. I wonder if we take out fourth quarters for these teams, or their pace ratings even faster. So I do think even putting 2 tough defenses together, their offenses are so good, and the pace is going to be so fast that I'm kind of I'm not gonna say overlooking the matchup, but I'm kind of respecting the opportunity versus how tough the matchup is, especially at these price points. I think AK for Chris Paul, a guy that arguably gets better in a tougher matchup because he can get more creative, get those assists up. You're likely going to get a double-double with assists in a competitive game. And then Devin Booker will probably lead the team in shots here. So I got right around 40 fantasy points for both guys on DK, a little over 40 fantasy points for both guys on Fanduel. So both guys would absolutely be in the player pool tonight. Is there a big ceiling here? Yeah, I think 50 plus for one of these guys is there. I do think at AK, right, CJ McCollum's going to soak up all of that ownership right now potentially, and maybe that makes them a little bit more lucrative for tournaments at probably a little less ownership. And then DeAndre Ayton, you wonder if he stays on the court long enough, strong enough to pay off 7K. It's easy to think that he would maybe get run off here, but I don't know that he would. They don't have Frank Kaminsky to fill that small ball center role right now. So unless you match Draymond to Jay Crowder at the 5, or McCall Bridges, something like that, I think he's a better fit than JaVale McGee for this spot. So I don't know, something to think about. On the Warrior side, Steph Curry, 10.8K, 11.4K. So Steph Curry seems like the ultimate risk reward play here. I was reading my boy Josh Perennial. He might be in chat. My boy Josh talking about how the Suns guarded Steph in the last season or so, where they would trap him, and that would force the Warriors to have to flow through a Jordan Poole or Andrew Wiggins, something like that. So I guess it would be fair to see how Steph Curry has done against the Suns lately. DKP by game log versus Suns. Let's go last 10 games. 34, 38, 28, 47, 40. So essentially at this price point today, the last time Curry got there was in 2017. But if we really just isolate it down to last year, which is the most fair, 37 minutes against Phoenix, 35 DKP, 1 for 11 from downtown, and then last year 38 DKP, 31 minutes, 27 real points. It still was under 40 fantasy points. So it looks like that's a good call out by Josh here, which is going to make him really, really hard to trust at 11K. Hey, yo, Ratisha, appreciate that follow on the channel, man. Shout out to you. The goal, 6K subs. And then it looks like we're about to let's go home. He hasn't done well versus for them. Yeah, it looks like that Paul, Booker, Bridges, they scheme him well. It is Steph Curry, right? You start getting your pieces back on the Warriors. The Warriors looking a little different this year than they did last year. So there's an outcome where Curry can just pop off and be Steph Curry. But still at this price point, not only does he have to, be 50, 60 fantasy points, but it still has to be worth it versus some of these other studs. Yo, Bernard, I appreciate that sub, man. Shout out to you. Let's go home.
Let's go home, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go home.
Listening closely to local Warriors news and will keep Discord updated.
Let's go, baby. I appreciate that, Josh. What up, Keel? Hope all is well. Just probably say what's up, man. Hope you're doing all right, Keel. Hope you're crushing it. Happy holidays to all the lurkers. Josh will keep us tuned in. Josh is in the Bay Area. He's a true Warriors fan. So maybe he might have that Wiggins news before we do. But anyway, what I was going to say about Steph Curry is not only does Steph Curry have to, an uphill battle at these price points on FanDuel and DraftKings to be a great play in and of himself, but in context of the slate, he's still got to be the better play than some of these other studs out there. I mentioned James Harden, who I have projected to score more fantasy points straight up. Russell Westbrook with some floating potential news on the Lakers in a positive matchup against the Sacramento Kings. A little bit cheaper as well, almost $1,200 cheaper. KD's on the slate, potentially LeBron. There's still a high responsibility for Steph Curry. And at this price point, you think about what would Steph Curry have to do to be the slate nuts, right? Be the pure optimal. Is it one of those 70-point nights? Like, unless every other stud just fell flat on their face here. So I think the easy move here is to fade Steph Curry, but in tournaments, you just feel like anytime you can get a potentially single-digit ownership Steph Curry on a 5-game slate, maybe you throw a couple darts at it. But if we game script Curry to struggle, somebody else pick up the pieces. As I was reading what Josh was saying, yeah, Steve Kerr is not gonna let that go on for long, right? If you're scheming Steph Curry, somebody else picks up the responsibility. So maybe we get a little bit more point Draymond, and maybe Jordan Poole, if Wiggins is down at 6K on Fanduel 6,500, is the guy that would have to really step up, show up, and show out. I got him for a little over 30 fantasy points on both sites, so I kind of like teetering that seesaw a little bit towards him. And looking at these 2 games last year, one was May 11th, the other was January. Let's look at the May one first. Actually, let's look at the January one first, and just kind of Wiggins. It was Oubre was on the team, so Wiggins in that game looks like he wasn't really a big factor. Oubre either. Like, yeah, that was rough. They only got 93 points that game. And then the other game looks like it was a little bit more competitive. 116. Let's go home. Let's go home. Let's go. Yo, y'all are nuts.
Let's go home. Let's go home.
Thanks for the free week raffle.
Yo, shout out to Plan B Smoothies. God dang it. Yeah, yesterday Plan B won one of the free week pass giveaways. We're gonna do another one today if we get to 100 likes. We're at 63 likes, so 143 of you guys hanging out. Let's go. If we get 100 likes, I'll do another week pass giveaway at rundfs.com. And then looking at that other Golden State game, Wiggins 40 minutes, 38 real points. Curry 21. So yeah, Wiggins stepped up in that game. So maybe if Wiggins did play, he'd be somebody to look at in this one. If they scheme Steph, if you're gonna beat us, it's not gonna be with Steph Curry. Maybe it would be Wiggins again here, but maybe Jordan Poole as well. So I guess that's one way to play it. The other way to play it is just to load up on every other game and hope that this game is a defensive stalwart. But I do think that Paul and Booker prices are a little too cheap to get a full game out of them. And not load up, right? Devin Booker. Yeah, Booker's been PPM. Booker's giving you 30 plus real points. It's hard not to just take that 40 from Devin Booker here. It's kind of implied here. If Wiggins is down, we have Iguodala out. We have Damian Lee out. So we are missing some potential girth in the forward spot. Could Otto Porter, JTA benefit here? Maybe. Something to look at. Otto Porter at 4,400 might be enough to get his minutes at a playable area. I don't mind looking his way if stuff shook out the right way. I think that's what's going to be fun about this slate is you can really sink your teeth into the first 2 games. And then us late swappers can say, okay, slate starts again. It's like there's like a halftime to this slate for mass entry GPPs, right? The 2 games go 2.5 hours later. You probably get a 30-minute gap of no basketball, hopefully. And then you can just reshuffle, late swap them wise to glory, man. So it's really like a halftime. What up, Dan T? We love you, man. I love y'all. You guys are the best. Suns will probably win, and Warriors will try to split with them since they play again here in the Bay this Friday. Let's go. Dante just pulled himself on his lap. Oh, no. Bernard says, who do you think will win? I think the Suns win. I'll give the home court advantage here. I'm with that. Moving on to the next game, Blazers hosting the Pistons. So, chat, give me 1 second. I definitely think it's fair. I think I need to... let's go back to shoot around for a second. I need to update projections because a lot of news came out about this game since I've been live, and it's just not fair. Also, I didn't realize that the font for the chat was so gosh dang big. So give me a second to update projections. That's the projections train rolling in. But yeah, if you guys want to fire those thumbs up, get us to 100 likes, we will do it. another week pass giveaway for VIP at rundfs.com. And I, right now, if you guys are tuning in late, right as I went live, we got the Damian Lillard unlikely to play announcement. And I usually update my projections about 10 minutes before I go live. So I wasn't able to compensate for that. And then also after I went live, we got more news from the Blazers about multiple guys being out. So I think it would be unfair to display the outdated projections, and I don't want people to get the wrong idea. For instance, I'm sure CJ McCollum's going to go from an okay projection to an incredible projection right now. So I wanted to at least have that displayed, right? There's a possibility Bielisa gets more run to match Sun's size, especially if Dre's back starts to bother him. Yeah. So if we get the ultra troll where Draymond and Wiggins are out for this one, that would be complete chaos, and then we might see some serious line movement. What was that? Virus and threat protection. All right, so sifting through here, Dame Dollar. Man, Dame was just starting to kind of find his 3-point groove to you. You hate to see it. I always figure when people miss a home game, then it's for real, right? No Lillard means CJ lock. Yeah, remember we did have a CJ without Lillard game in Denver, right? And then there was another one I thought, but I know that Denver game was without Dame as well, and it was very, very average results. Dude, my virus software is just like going nuts right now. It's just like hey, it's time to update. And I'm just like, maybe later. Chat, did PrizePicks drop another Taco Tuesday special yet? I had to leave their Discord, I think, because there's just way too many at everyone tags. And then, I don't know. I felt like some of the discussions in that Discord were not really that valuable. So I left it, but I guess it's worth being in for the promo announcements and stuff like that. All right. I think I got us to a safe space on projections. So if you guys have access to the rundfs.com VIP Discord, we do have a fresh projection sweep in the spreadsheet. Harden's still at the top, but we do have an appropriate number on the Blazers. I didn't adjust this page here, but I did go in and put Dame at 0, Norman Powell at 0, Nas Little at 0. So probably expect some combination of Anthony Simons, CJ McCollum, maybe Larry Nance. Tony Snell started yesterday, so Tony Snell probably starts again here. But the big bulk minutes people for me are going to be McCollum, Rocco, Nance, and against the Pistons, man, this might be a stackable opportunity. And I also think that's not going to be like a secret. I think a lot of chalk will surround the Blazers. When I did this spreadsheet, the Blazers were 9-point favorites. Since this news has come out, looks like books have adjusted to 6.5, 7, and the total has gone to 210, and it was at 215. So we lost about 5 points, and then 3 points on the spread, and maybe that keeps moving, right? So let's dress this up as Simons, McCollum. We'll do Tony Snell at the 3. Take out Little, and then we're good, right? We're good. And now I'll get caught up on chat. I love basketball and DFS and the 5 people deliver it. Man, I appreciate that. Yo, Dan T, yeah, there ain't no I don't ain't no shame in watching all the content, man. There's a lot of really good content out there. Detroit was plus 350 earlier today, was juicy. Did you take that? That's nice. Whatever it was made you go all laggy. We're good though, right? No frames dropping now. Like, does Nance get 30 minutes tonight with no power? Do you like Covington better? I just put Nance at 27. I think 27 minutes for Nance versus 32 minutes of Rocco. Usually Nance is a little bit more productive per minute, but I don't hate Rocco. Rocco, I discovered last night. I was like, Robert Covington is projecting extremely well in my DK model. Of course, he only drops 5, but it's at Utah. That's like the toughest matchup. He got ejected at Sacramento, but he's kind of in the middle of all that, 24, 28, 25, 27. Like, not horrendous ROIs on 3,900, yesterday 3,800. So, potential uptick in usage here against the Pistons. I think at 3,900, Robert Covington is absolutely in the player pool here. But per minute, I think Nance is usually more productive. So, if I had to split hairs and choose between the two, I'd probably go Nance, but that's not a knock on Rocco for DK. I think they're both going to be in the pool for me. Snell sucks at basketball. J. Cole, Jermaine, Cole, Mr. Nice Watch, Young Simba. Detroit will win, not get crushed without Dame. We should win this game. Let's go. I'm with that. Let's go. Glad to hear. Hopefully some puppies. Oh, my God. Blazers might really tighten up to where Nurkic stays on the floor close to 30 minutes. Also, who is coming off the bench for Portland? Nance and who else? So I got Nance. There's going to be a little bit of Cody Zeller as well. Let me look at this depth chart for Portland. Make sure I ain't got no secrets. Dennis Smith Jr. is on the roster, so maybe he gets some run. Ben McLemore is on the roster. I don't know that these are guys that we can confidently project, but I guess Dennis Smith Jr., Ben McLemore, Cody Zeller would be the floating fillers, but I think I'm pretty happy with these minute projections where they're at right now. The Nurkic one is actually pretty compelling. You mentioned we've long been talking about his lack of minutes and his consistently inconsistent minutes, and we know that when Nurkic gets minutes and gets runs and gets opportunity, he can break a slate. 59 fantasy points against Sacramento, massive. 32 minutes, 27 minutes against Utah, tough matchup. Rudy Gobert, 40 fantasy points. So if we put Dame down, no Norman Powell, Nurkic at 6,400 might be that dude today. And 6,400, if we all knew 30 minutes was a possibility for Nurkic tonight, or at least closer to 30 minutes than before all those guys are out, Nurkic should be probably a 7 to 8K player. So in a spot like the Detroit Pistons, well, they'll play a little bit bigger. Jeremy Grant, Isaiah Stewart, they've been kind of rotating Luka Garza and Trey Lyles in the mix as well. Yeah, I can get behind this Nurkic call. You guys might be onto something. And then Anthony Simons will probably be one of the highest owned value plays on the entire slate. No pushback there. And then CJ McCollum, probably too cheap. And now let's talk about the Pistons. The Pistons come down usually to 3 guys that I like the most, which is Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, and Jeremy Grant. If I had to rank them from consistency and personal exposure, I probably will have the most exposure to Cade Cunningham. Jeremy Grant would be 2, and Sadiq Bey would be 3. But those are the 3 main Pistons for me. Killian Hayes might be a little bit of a stunner here and there. 4,200. I'm looking for 25 plus fantasy points. He'll be in the mix, but not nearly as aggressively owned in my exposures as a Cade or a Grant. Sadiq Bey would be probably my least exposed of those 3, but I do think that like 30 plus fantasy points is something that has a good range of outcome happening here, because he'll chuck 3s. So that's what I got here. So let me hear what you guys are doing with this one. Dan T says Dennis Smith Jr. revenge. Looking for revenge. Even Oscar the Grouch wouldn't touch them bench players. I promise in every lineup I will have at least 3 or 4 Trailblazers. Mark K. Yeah, I think that's fine. I think the field is probably going to be like that's going to be the field, right? Remember that the other night where the Rockets were like all 50% owned, KPJ, Christian Wood? Like, is that a situation we're dealing with here? It's not necessarily the wrong move, but I think that's something we're dealing with. So maybe we have to zig where others are zagging or find one wedge leverage spot, right? Nurkic will finally get minutes, maybe. All of that to say McCollum, Simons, and Snell might play 40-plus minutes tonight. Tony Snell might play 40 minutes, and I still may not play him. Nurkic, Jokic game tonight. Let's go. Cody the Goat Zeller. LeBron expects to play tonight. All right, that's good to know. What up, Bernard? What do you think, Curry? Who do you think, Curry, Booker, or Paul is captain on Showdown? I think for me, it's going to be Paul, Booker, and then Curry. That'll probably be my points per dollar tiering. I feel like we jammed the main guys. I feel like in Showdown, I wonder what a fade Curry lineup would look like and feel like. And I feel like the average player in a Showdown contest is not fading Curry. So, I don't know. I feel like we jammed the main guys from the Portland game and take your value pieces from the Knicks. I can get behind that. Thibodeau says Burks will start tonight over Kemba with that Barrett. All right. Obi Toppin slam night. Did those centers get rolled out? If so, I'm with it. If so, I am with it. Let's take a pause for the cause. Let's talk about PrizePicks. Have you guys heard about PrizePicks.com? Now, for real, PrizePicks, man, I love this site. You guys are thumbing on it too. Every day I'm seeing screenshots. Saw somebody in chat earlier. My boy Coach K saying he's crushing it. Yesterday we saw my boy Logan had a 5 flexer, sweating it. Needed 3 points from Reggie Jackson. He missed a 3. The blowout took everyone out the game. And he missed it by 3. So he went 4 out of 5. Still made some money, man. That's why the flex is the responsible move. So I respect it. Is there a live taco promo right now? That sounds so crazy to say. Anyway, I'll look through a couple of these picks here. But if you guys aren't on PrizePicks, sign up using code GUNDACKER, !PrizePicks in the chat. If you sign up using my code, they will match your first deposit up to $100. So if you just throw $20 at it, they'll make it $40 of playable stuff. Looks like the Kevin Durant one is over, so we'll see if they announce another one. I think they announced 3 different discounts. That's a promo they do every Tuesday. So I don't see the live one now. I think the KD one is gone, and then they'll drop another one in a little bit. Maybe they had plans for one of these guys that got rolled out. But yeah, PrizePicks is a site where you can bet against the projection. It's kind of like player props, over, under, stuff like that. Put them on a card. You can put 2 picks on a card. You can put up to 5 picks. You can power play up to 4 picks for 10x your entry, $10 into 100. See some crazy screenshots on Twitter every night. And you can also flex play it. It's a really, really fun site, and it's not isolated to one specific sport. Tonight, you guys can put NBA picks on a card. You can get some college football exposure, some NHL exposure. They have women's college basketball. They got CSGO. Shout out to Jake. Esports action, if you're nasty. I had a friend yesterday. Was it yesterday or the day before? I was playing Fortnite. He was like, Gun, do they have betting for disc golf? I never in my life expected to know someone that follows disc golf professionally. And I was like, DraftKings doesn't have it, but PrizePicks does, and it's not in season right now. But I cannot wait to get some disc golf analysis from a friend who I've never talked DFS before. So I can't wait for that. But yeah, go check it out, man. I'll screen share some of the numbers that they have up there. Like I said, you sign up using code GUNDACKER, they'll match your first deposit up to $100. And then of course, they show me a little love once a month, and that's a cool way to support the channel, support the stream without actually having to open up your wallet to me, right? So what I like to do when I find some PrizePicks, or to find some PrizePicks stuff, is I just go off of my projections. For you FanDuel players, it's a 1-to-1 fantasy point scoring. It's the official NBA one. So usually I'll just check out who I got projecting pretty well. And then I'll look at the prize picks projection. And if my projection has a margin of error or a margin of difference, well over 5, 6, 7, something like that, then I'll usually land on that. So I guess it would be interesting to think about CJ McCollum. We know now that Damian Lillard's out, Norman Powell's down. It's the Detroit Pistons. McCollum, I have him at a projection right about 45 fantasy points, which is 45 prize picks points. Looking at their site, if I control F McCollum, they have him at 41. So that's kind of close, but it's still kind of discuss the over. They have Chris Paul at 36 fantasy points. If I go look at the projection for me, if I go in that player props tab, that's also pretty much geared specifically for prize picks. Sort that from greatest to least. Control F, Paul. Dude, it's only 314. We're thumbing, chat. Thumbing. I have Chris Paul at 42 prize picks fantasy points. They have him at 36. So that gives me a 6-point gap. So I'll probably get on that. Wiggins will probably not play. Or maybe not play. I don't really want to get there. They have Nurkic at 39.5. So another way you can use prize picks, knowing that they have the same scoring as Fanduel, is look at where their lines maker, who's pretty sharp, right? If he's not, then they're bleeding money. Knowing where their lines maker is putting some of these guys on projections, and having Yusuf Nurkic at 39.5, we can look at that price point. We can go look at Yusuf Nurkic's Fanduel price, 6,700. I got him at 40, so I'm in line with their projection, but that might make Nurkic a really great Fanduel play. So something to think about, something to use. Check that out. Use code GUNDACKER. Support the stream. Support all that good stuff. Let's get caught up on you guys in the chat before we move on. I am hungry. Just hit me. Dang Lazy Mofo says, I would pay an extra salary not to play Tony Snell. There used to be a site, I think it was called Fantasy Aces, that they had some system where if you went over salary, they would dock you points, and if you went under, they would spot you points. You wouldn't even take Tony Snell in that mode, right? Lakers sacks still the highest game total. Yeah, this should be. The thing with the Lakers is that they have the concentrated big three usage, but we saw in the last game that can coexist. Valdo says, in all reality, I can get more fantasy points than Snell in 10 minutes. Never mind 40. Guys, I feel like if we keep poking at Tony Snell, he's going to break the slate tonight. Also, let me fix this chat thing. I wish I could let a mod adjust the Streamlabs while I'm live. Chat font is just way too big. Much better now. What up, Marvski? Hope everyone's having a blessed day. Woke up to me finding out my niece took my car and totaled it. Bro, you can't just hit me like that. What the freak? Oh man, that was a loaded. That sucks, Marv. I hope you got insurance. I hope she's okay. Or do we not hope that? I don't know what I'm hoping for. I'm moving on. J. Cole says hit 14 of 15 for 220 last night. Let's go. Gibson's going to crush it tonight. Is Gibson in? Derrick Rose is the news I am waiting on patiently. It's the main. Yeah, I could see that. If D Rose didn't play, we'd probably beef up our projection on Alec Burks, and then maybe Fournier if we know Barrett's down and Kemba doesn't get run, right? Jeff B says, any picks you can share? Yeah. So I probably would get to the McCollum over. I'll look at it again. If you remind me towards the end, it looks like we're going to have plenty of time today. I'll look at it again. Rose and Kemba suck, play Burks. No, I think Rose is fine. Kemba is the issue, right? J. Cole. Going is tonight a Beast Burger night, or is there a night where you get Danny a puppy? Dude, don't say Beast Burger sounds so good right now. I'm actually hungry. Hey, Gun, where do the Lakers rank versus center position, if you don't mind? In terms of just general DVP, I could pull that up for you. The Lakers are resort. Looks like they've moved forward a little bit. I feel like the Lakers DVP is so, I'm going to say fragile, but because they've had that long stretch without LeBron James, you feel like AD, DeAndre Jordan, Dwight Howard, if they're going to do nothing, it's going to be protect the rim. So it's actually not that great. But we've seen centers thrive against them, so I wouldn't overreact to DVP. I think the pace, the lack of defense as a team is fine. Nova Scotia, what up, Nova? Got here late. What's good, Gun? Backing her up to catch up on the stuff. I appreciate that, Nova. Just here to hit the like button. No need for assistance in DFS. I just put players in. Let's go, but I appreciate those thumbs up, boys. Kings and Grizzlies with CJ. I'm with that. Kemba sucks and is out of the rotation for a while. Yeah, for sure. Is Nurk chalk now? I don't know. Definitely seems like we can justify playing him. We're at 198. No way. No way. So yesterday we hit a season high. 198 is probably the new season high. Is definitely the new season high. So if you guys are out there, I appreciate that. Hit that thumbs up, and at 100 likes, I'll give away a week pass. We got one more game to talk about. So you guys get me to 100 likes, we'll do a rundfs.com week pass giveaway. But I cannot tell you how special it is that you guys are hanging out with me. 200 of you guys. I don't even have a co-host, man. We're just sitting here chilling. Lakers at the Kings. The main event tonight. Projects 35 for the Lakers. Russell Westbrook, Malik Monk, LeBron James, Anthony Davis, DeAndre Jordan taking on De'Aaron Fox, Tyrese Halliburton, Buddy Hield, Mo. How could you be so heartless? Rashawn Holmes, 226.5 total, 4 point spread in favor of the visiting LA Lakers. This game went to overtime the other day, and then when it was done with overtime, it went to overtime again, and then after overtime, they were like, let's play some more overtime. It was crazy. It was nuts. Now, that game, we saw the Kings really, really shorthanded. To take you back, let's use the Add More Funds game flow tool, the NBA Wowie tool. If you guys want access to this, it's a free thing. Go to addmorefunds.com, exclamation point AMF in the chat, and we'll open up that Kings game. The Kings threw out Halliburton, Matu, Fox, Alex Len, and Mo Harkless. They had Buddy Hield coming off the bench. They did not have Rashawn Holmes that game. They did not have Harrison Barnes that game. Looks like they'll have Holmes tonight. No Barnes. And they are a couple games into a new coach, Alvin Gentry. So, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. I like De'Aaron Fox's price point on the surface. I think it's 7,600 on FanDuel, 84 on DK. I thought maybe this morning he might come in a little higher owned than I would like, but I'm wondering now, knowing what we know, would CJ McCollum just really soak up a lot of that ownership at that price range and make him fine? The Lakers have been one of the league's less than stellar defenses, to say the least. They run a super fast pace, and a guy like De'Aaron Fox under new management on a lineup that could use him driving the wheel, or him driving the Kings vehicle. I'm looking for 40 plus fantasy points. I got that projected on FanDuel. Halliburton 6,300 on FanDuel. Got him at over 30 fantasy points on both sites. And then Buddy Hield, if he came off the bench, I'd look to him even as a starter. I'm fine with him. Either way, I think those are the three catalysts in the Kings keeping this game competitive. Rashawn Holmes being back, I'm not sure what to do with that, right? At this price point, the slate just dangled Yusuf Nurkic in front of us at this price point. Bless you. So I feel like, we just go Nurkic here, and I think Rashawn Holmes is not going to be a priority for me. I do love playing some Rashawn Holmes, and I do think per minute he's really, really, really good. But I think Nurkic can be that much better. So if you're stuck on a one center site and you got that feeling in your bad knee with the Stormer brewing, I think Nurkic over Holmes is the right move. But I also feel like that's the field move. So that's what we're dealing with there. The rest of the Kings lineup, you guys know I've been waiting for Marvin Bagley to get his run, to get his opportunity. It took 3 overtimes against the Lakers with two starters down. I think there was a injury mid-game, just to muscle his way to 30. He had basically won the Kings back-to-back games, the Blazers and the Lakers, but he's not getting the respect. So I gotta grit my teeth and bear it, man. As much as I would love to trust Marvin Bagley getting some run tonight, I just don't know that that's in the cards here. So I'm probably gonna be out on all of the Kings bench essentially. Even Davion Mitchell is not a priority for me on DK. At that price point, we can look at Svi Mikhailiuk. We can look at Anthony Simon. So as juicy as this game feels like, I think I'm just getting to the core three here, the Fox, Halliburton, Buddy Hield. And then we should talk about, and I mean this for you guys too, let me know what you do with the Lakers' big three. They are coming off a game where Westbrook, LeBron, and AD put up dueling 50 bombs, right? So it's not outside the realm of possibility for the big three to be the big three and accomplish that. 47 for Westbrook. I think he had more. No. Okay. 47 for Westbrook, 66 against Sacramento. AD against Detroit, 51 fantasy points, doubled with rebounds. And then LeBron James against his boy Isaiah Stewart dropped a 30 piece on him, 59. So is the move here 1 of 3 or 2 of 3? Meaning, if I were to set a rule in Fantasy Cruncher and put the Lakers into a group, assuming that they all play, would I not want all three in the same lineup? Would I allow up to 2? Could I get dueling 50 bombs from 2? Is that a more likely outcome when you simulate this game over and over? Or do we want just 1 of 3? What are you guys thinking? Would you not want to line up with more than one big Laker or more than 2? I think I want to say 2. I might do a couple of batches, right? If I was running 150, I might run, 50 with 50 with the rule of just 1, another 50 with the rule of 2. I don't know if I want 50 of 3. I'm not saying I would jam in 3, but allowing the Opto to take over and put those points in there. Because the Kings are the Kings, man. If we look at the Kings metrics, this is just a defense that is worth picking on. And when it comes to points in the paint, the Kings allow the most points in the paint in all of basketball, just ahead of the Lakers. So I think even as a guy like AD who's hard to trust, like this is a fantastic spot for him to put up some points. So I don't know. We'll also want to see what version of this Lakers lineup they throw out there. Is it AD at the 5 or do they stick with AD at the 4? AD is on pace to having one of the worst 3-point shooting seasons of all time. He's been extremely inefficient. So like he does all this complaining about not wanting to play the 5. Well, if you're not gonna hit those threes, then why not? Then put you at the 5 and let Melo out there shoot threes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't know. I do think Vogel it's worth it for Vogel to just make the decision for him. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what you guys are thinking. Lorenzo says 2 or 3. I'm with that. Halliburton time. I can get down with that. 2 of 3 says Stewart. I'm with that. Supreme plus pineapple. Oh man, don't talk about pizza, y'all. I'm hungry. Stu says the one I wouldn't trust the most is AD and Westbrook together, but LeBron and one of the other two should be fine. You like that correlation instead? I think that's fair. So if you just straight up made a Lakers podium, LeBron at the top, Westbrook, and then AD. I feel like AD, I don't know. Westbrook and AD is such a coin flip for me. AD just watched The Notebook. He too emotional to play tonight. Stop it. Get some help. 117, like what? Y'all are crazy. LeBron over 25 points tonight on PrizePicks. 25 real points. I can see that. AD and Russ. You like AD and Russ over LeBron? So let me get caught up on the Lakers here. Is all the Lakers expected to play? I think you guys said that LeBron was expected. So let's see. Westbrook. He's good. LeBron James. I don't got any updates on that. Got any Knicks or Nets you like if Rose is out? It would just boost Alec Burks that much more for me. If RJ Barrett was out, then it would make really, really interesting decisions. So if Rose was out, RJ Barrett was out, and Kimba's not in the rotation, you could probably look at Emmanuel quickly. I think at almost 5K on DK, quickly needs that 30 fantasy points. But against the Nets, I mean, he's a high energy player. It's not outside the realm of possibility, but I don't think you're getting a great deal at his price. AD is soft. SOFT. SAWFT. So it needs a snack to power through. Give us the picks. I'm with that, man. You guys are literally the best. I guess let's open up the giveaway. We'll do at least one week pass. 206. Yo, stop it. Y'all are no. Stop. That's not happening. Y'all are crazy. That's crazy. All right, let's do this giveaway. But yeah, I'm still here for a little bit. If you guys got some questions, I'll try to get you out of here in I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. How do I get that free week pass I won? Wait, you won one? When? I don't remember you winning one, but if you did, DM me. All right, so let's do a 10-minute timer. If you guys got any questions about the Slate or any hot fire takes, let me know. We got time. We're vibing. 10. We'll do a 10-minute giveaway. So exclamation point raffle in the chat. I will catch your questions. So if you guys got some questions, throw them in chat, and we'll try and explore it. Can I win a second week? Yeah, if you guys are active VIPers, you can win a second week. You can yesterday a month passer won another week. Juan Murillos, his thoughts on quickly. I think, yeah. So I think you asked that before I mentioned quickly. But yeah, I think quickly's in play. I like his Fanduel price point a little bit more, 4,100. Looking for 20 plus. But if stuff starts shaking out the right way, right? No Derrick Rose, no RJ Barrett. The Nets maybe push a little bit more small. If Mitchell Robinson's out and Julius Randle maybe gets tasked with a little bit more center, if Gibson's are also out and Nerlens Noel is out, you know what I'm saying? There's definitely some paths and some scenarios that would beef up Quickly's potential today. So he would be in the pool, but I think the FanDuel price point feels a little bit more welcoming than anything else, or than the DK price point. But he wouldn't be out of play, right? I promise I'll see your questions. I know there's a lot of raffles in chat, but I promise I'll see it. Harden has 40 points. You like that? Bro, I can't believe we broke 200 live viewers. That's actually like crazy. So if you are out there watching, I do have a goal for 6K subs by January 1 that I did not think would be possible. But maybe we keep doing these 200 viewer streams. I don't know. What's up, Leighton? Which game is worth stacking? So I think the Pistons and the Blazers is going to be the most stackable points per dollar, right? I think the Blazers as a team, getting sub AK McCollum with his usage. Matter of fact, let's run a Wowie on that if you guys want to, and we'll even elongate the sample size to last year. So let's pull up Portland. But I think if you just consider points per dollar, like this is not a game that features a 10K player, several 6K players with a lot of minutes. To an extent, I guess the Raptors Memphis game, but I have a little less confidence in the Grizzlies, as crazy as that sounds. So for the Blazers, we'll do two queries based on data range, or date range. So let's put McCollum in. And then let's put Nurkic in, right? We don't really need to dabble with much else. And then we'll take Lillard off the court. And based on that split this season, only 50 minutes of sample size. Neither Nurkic or McCollum are doing great numbers. I do think a lot of that is based on that really, really bad game they had against the Nuggets in the altitude on the road without Lillard. I do think at home against the Pistons gets a little bit more welcoming, but let's elongate the date range on that. Elongate. Is it weird that I say elongate, chat? If it is, let me know. I could be real. But when we extend that, how about that? So last year, almost 1.2 fantasy points per minute for both McCollum and Nurkic. So basic math, if you put Nurkic at 25 times 1.2, that gets over 30 fantasy points, and that's, at a price point at 6,700, 6,400. That in itself projects pretty well. And then if you consider the matchup, Nurkic could hit to 40, and the same with McCollum. I got him at 38 minutes times 1.2, well over 40. So somebody that could strike 50. So I think they are the most stackable team. But the game itself is very stackable too, because there's a couple of run backs that aren't that asinine. I think Cade Cunningham, Sadiq Bey, Jeremy Grant would be the standouts here. You could talk yourself into some Isaiah Stewart. Wouldn't be a priority play, but I understand it. And you could also talk yourself into a little bit of Killian Hayes, projecting for 26 fantasy points for me on FanDuel, 23 on DK. He has shown some upside. Maybe like the Lakers, you podium these three guys as well. The ranges of outcomes for Sadiq Bey to suck versus be great is high enough that maybe you don't want to overexert your personal exposure to a guy like Sadiq Bey. And then Jeremy Grant essentially needs to be a 40-point player on FanDuel as well, but he can be. So, but as far as game stackability, I think this game has the most realistic stackability in terms of getting exposure to all the pieces that would contribute. Bobby Schmurder says, I have a free same game parlay for FanDuel. What do you like for the Nets versus Knicks? I don't think I can look at same game parlay stuff, so I don't know that I could help you out there without seeing what was on the table. But generally, for the game itself, I like Harden. Harden is currently my highest projected fantasy play. I don't know what that means for you in the same game parlay. The Knicks do chuck threes quite a bit. I don't know that. I don't know if that's a proper. It's hard for me to answer that without seeing it, Bob. What else we got here? Did I miss any Nance love? So I do like Larry Nance. If you guys didn't catch it, when I adjusted the minutes for the Blazers, and I'll tighten screws between now and lock. But the big minute guys for me were Anthony Simons, Larry Nance, off the bench potentially, McCollum, Rocco, and Tony Snell. Tony Snell, even in 28 minutes, it gave me like half a point per minute, so I don't think I play him. But Rocco is a guy on DraftKings I think can get there for me, and then Nurkic being there. But Larry Nance is definitely in play for me. I think Nance on DraftKings much more viable than the 5K FanDuel price point. Not out of the pool for me on FanDuel, because I do have him at a 30 fantasy point projection, but at 28 DKP, what is that, like 8-9x? If I look at player projections and sort from greatest value to least, 209. Stop it, y'all. Stop it. Where did we do on subs today? You guys out there lurking. We started the stream at 5,625. Refresh. 5,636. So 11 subs, man. We did 13 yesterday. I'm like just like beyond humble. Y'all are insane, man. Don't get me crying. I got Svi, Simons, Larry Nance as the top three value plays on DK. So yeah, Simons and Nance being right there in the mix. So yeah, there would be Larry Nance love, and then Rocco is actually in the top 5 as well. Lot of potential value from the Blazers. It's weird. It was weird, yeah. Exclamation point. Stop it. You like Rocco over 4.5 rebounds? What do I have him projected at? So another tab that I have in the spreadsheet is individual stat projections. So I guess I have Rocco at 6.3. So the line's 4.5. Yeah, I guess there's some room there for me. So I'd probably take it. But you got the clout from EMAC? Yeah, man. EMAC put me on one. I appreciate that. We need a Gunley fan. Stop it. Where are we at on the giveaway? Bro, you know what's crazy? I get to talk so much trash to Raj and Chronic, especially Raj. We got 5 minutes on the giveaway. Exclamation point raffle. We're gonna give away a week pass, at least 1 week pass. I don't know. You guys have been crushing it. You might need more. At least 1 week pass we'll give away. But I get to talk so much trash to Raj and Chronic. Be like, look, dog, without y'all, I'm doing numbers. Top values on FanDuel. What's up, Skimmer? I got you. So if I sort my FanDuel projections from greatest ROI to least, Anthony Simons is number 1, 8x value. Mikhailiuk again. Remember, Svi's gonna get a big bump here without Gary Trent. And also OG Anunoby's down. Dennis Smith Jr., I don't know that I'm going to trust that. Again, 6.8x is only 23 fantasy points. Remember, I still need 30 fantasy points from likely every position more often than not. And then I did talk about DeAndre Bembry, man. He's got back-to-back 30 bombs starting in lieu of Bruce Brown, even though Brown's healthy. Been filling a role here, so not a bad look if you're trying to fill a forward spot. And then CJ McCollum is over 6x, so that looks pretty good as well. Tyus Jones. So we talk about Tyus Jones at all much. Do you guys like playing some Tyus today? And did I spell Tyus wrong? Oh, there it is. Because I feel like he just kind of got lost in the sauce, but at 5K, yeah, I need 30. I don't know that becomes a priority here. He's been historically more of a defensive guy. You know, for him to get there is probably those defensive peripherals with Dylan Brooks being the usage absorber, so I don't know. Love Raj to death, though. Yeah, Raj is the homie. Although Raj is fake, because he literally told me yesterday that he's like, I'm missing Monday, but I'm good all week, and I hit him up. I'm like, are you streaming? I don't care if you stream or not, but you know, early in the stream, if I'm stalling for time or whatever, you know, let me know. But he never caught up with me. Raj is Mr. Repeat Gun. 211. Yo, y'all don't understand. Like, this is actually insane. Wow. I'm just going to melt. Gun is Danielle. Is that your main squeeze? I like Melton over Jones. Yeah, Melton per minute for sure. As a matter of fact, like, if you told me D'Anthony Melton had a shot at 25 minutes, absolutely. Would project that over 30 fantasy points. What did I put him at? I put Melton at... I put him at 23. He gave me 25 FanDuel points, 22.7. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, y'all are just gonna make me blush. Gonna make me blush. Did PrizePicks drop another Taco Tuesday special? Remember, guys, PrizePicks code Gundacker. Show me some love. Show them some love. But Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, they keep dropping discounted stuff, and I don't think they've dropped the next one yet. So when they do, we'll be on it. We'll be on it. Hey, if you're on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker. I heard wife soon. Don't spoil it. Oh, God, she can hear me. Oh, man. All right, a minute and 30 seconds on the giveaway. Dude, 40 plus people in the giveaway? Like, what? Y'all don't understand. Like, I'm just like blown away right now. I'm actually like, yeah. Check the receipts, Gun. I said I couldn't stream Monday and Tuesday. Raj, don't make me put your DMs on the air, buddy. Can't stream. Oh, he did say, God dang it. He did say it. Toronto Raptors read them north. Let's go. I'm back tomorrow. 200 like goal. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening. Does anyone know if you can play PrizePicks in Virginia? Marv, I don't think you can. I think our buddy John travels to Virginia a lot, and I'm pretty sure it's Virginia, and he tells me that he can't play there. So usually he'll make some picks before going there, and then when he commutes out. But I'm pretty sure not. She's in the next room. Babe, you want to click this button? How many likes do we give away 2? Huh? We have 140. You want to give away 2? I do. My bad, Raj. Recap of early games. Yeah, Nate, I got you. Always do better solo. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Guys, my girlfriend's going to click the button. So if you don't win, be mad at her.
Don't be mad at nobody.
You're going to be mad at her.
Don't be mad at nobody. It ain't my fault.
It ain't my fault.
No. You see, whoever wins, it's because of me. And
Right.
they're the special one. What button?
You got to come get the mouse.
Wait, I can't.
Come. You got first of all, you got the Fire Yankee hoodie.
I do.
Oh, we're all the way in the green screen now. Oh no, she's ripping my green screen.
I'm not.
All right, see the pick winner button right there.
If the mouse wasn't over yet.
Just click it.
Okay.
All right, so Roscoe.
Roscoe.
So what does Roscoe have to do?
Roscoe has to type his Twitter handle in the chat and then DM you on Twitter.
All right, and then let's pick another one.
Okay. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Hater Onzo. Boom. Two winners right there.
Now I like you because it was me doing it. That's
Yeah.
why you won.
That's why. So if you didn't win,
If you
complain.
didn't win, it's because of him. Like, it's his fault. I'm the lucky person.
We can do everything else here, but we can't play PrizePicks. That's Virginia for you. I think it might have something to do with licensing. I think, license to operate. So I don't know that it's specifically let's go home. What the?
Let's go home.
Dang. Oh, that's shot. Wait a minute. There's another one?
Had to give second like and sub on other YouTube page.
Let's go home.
That's nuts.
Let's go home.
Let's scoot over there.
Let's go home.
Can you get through? Don't break my green screen.
Let's go home.
Kobe is like leaving right now.
For the week pass last night.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's better. Chat, we're goofy out here. Anything else, chat? Y'all are so blown me away. Like, I appreciate it. Y'all are just the best. You're literally the best. You're funny. Gun is a lucky guy. I am. You deserve and earn the likes, man. I appreciate that, Jenna. Gun, buy her the puppy. Can't do it. Can't do it. So, hey, guys, on Twitter, hit me up, twitter.com/Gundecker. If you want a week pass, I'll get you set up. I need an email in the Twitter DM. I'll get that going. Otherwise, I will be, you can still be a VIPer. We have the promo code, the coupon code CYBER. That'll get you 20% off anything. I will be in the rundfs.com voice chat. It is a late lock here, so I might try and find some grub, and then we'll hang out a little bit before lock. But yeah, man, you guys crushed it. This is easily the best stream of the season. Probably, potentially, the best stream ever. I think that's real. Like Dang Lazy Mofo said, man, those baseball streams, man, it's pretty quiet. So for you guys to show up like this, actually crazy. The donos are nuts. You guys are like, oh my god, you guys made my day. Really made my day, man. Let's rock tonight. Let's win a bunch of money. Let me get those screenshots on Twitter. And then let's enjoy December, man. 30 days of 30, Let's see if we got more subs. 36. We went from 25 to 37. I'm just blown away. That's just it. I love you guys. Crush it. I'll see you guys tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. Central, with Raj. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money.